Turn it over to Christina. She's our children's pastor. And I just want to do a shout out. Hopefully you're watching Chris. Chris, our youth pastor, planned all this today. Planned an amazing reception for our police officers, Midlothian, yesterday, which is right here. And we had a great turnout. It was wonderful. Chris, thank you. He's been in the hospital. He had a lung infection, not COVID, something else. I mean, you know, other people have COVID. Chris had to do his own thing. That's all right. What's all right is that you're getting better, and we just pray for speedy recovery. And we've got sunshine here. We've got rain. We've got the four seasons happening right here. We all geared up for 104-degree heat. We've got air conditioning and a little bit of mist, okay? So God turned on the misters. All right, and then I also told my mom in Florida I would say hi. So, hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Okay. Amy. Okay. Amy Lane.
We're going to start off by breaking up into groups of 2 or 3 people. Most of you guys are already broken up. And we're going to discuss a question. Describe a time where you believed a lie, and how did you find the truth? So if you guys can just take a few minutes amongst yourselves. Someone need prayer to share. Would anybody like to share? I see a lot of good discussion. Does anybody want to share? Does anybody have an example? Okay, so one of my brothers told me I was adopted. I believed him. Then I asked my mom, and she told me the truth.
Oh goodness, I can totally relate with you, Becky. My sister told me that all the time, that I was adopted, and my mom and my sister have blonde hair, very fair skin, and I totally believed her because I was the one that took after my dad with my dark skin and my dark hair, and yeah, so I can relate, Becky. Glad you know that you're not adopted. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this whole thing, but first we have a little story to tell you. Oh Lord, please let this screen go away, right? All right, so once upon a time, there were 2 men, and each set out to build their home. And they kind of looked at each other, and they were like, what are you doing here? And then there's one, he's like sitting there, he gazed up, he's like, look at these huge rocks over here. I am gonna come up here to build my house. I have my instruction book right here, and I know that I can be able to build my house with this instruction book. The other guy started laughing at him. He was like, oh my goodness, I don't need any instruction books. I got everything right here in my head. I know I can build my house just fine, just down here. Who needs to climb on all those rocks? That's so hard. So the one man that was gonna build his house on the rocks, he started climbing up to the rocks to start building his house. And so one man built his house on the rocks, and the other built his house on the sand. they got their houses built. And they were so proud of their houses. They were like, oh, I have the best house. And the man on the rock's like, look at my nice house over here. But then came the storm. And I need you guys to help me out with the storm, okay? I know we kind of have our storm over here, but over here, these are our rain people, and they're going to do the rain by tapping on their legs. Yeah. The rain started pouring. Then there started to be thunder, or seriously, excuse me, thunder. You're gonna stomp your feet for thunder. And you know what happens when there's thunder? There's lightning, right? So over here's gonna be our lightning crashes. They're gonna have their hands. So this storm is kind of blowing through, right? Well, with the storm comes wind, and then comes the wind, and the wind finds out. And the poor man who built his house on the sand lost his house. And the one who built his on the rock stood firmly and strong and tall. And the rain and the wind, and he was safe. The rain and the wind did not bother him because he was in this house on the rock. All right, thank you guys so much. Let me give him a hand. So in this world, we do have, I'm gonna jump down here, is that okay? Closer to you guys. Okay. In this world, we do have these ideas these lies that we deceive us so quickly. And I know they're asking the question. I was the firm believer that if I ate watermelon seeds, a watermelon would grow in me. Did anybody believe that? To this day, I will not eat watermelon seeds. If I get one, I'm like, I'm gonna spit this out. I'm gonna have a watermelon growing inside of me. I also believed that when I was in high school, that time was irrelevant. This was a really bad idea. There really is time for a reason. God did set the times. So now, because of that, I'm perpetually late for everything. I cannot figure out how long it takes one thing to the next. And because I believe this foolish thing, my poor son is now coming to me, Mom, time is irrelevant. Why did I believe that? This world is full of lies. In 2008, I got this vision from the Lord, and it was like this darkness covering the earth, and I just felt like there was a spirit of falsehood that was coming in. And not to say there wasn't a spirit of falsehood before, but it was just, there was something stronger coming in that year. And as I watched the years go by, I could see how deception has crept into the church, into our lives. Even us as believers have fallen into prey to lies in our culture because we believe the lies, right? Because they sound so good. Now, this is nothing new under the sun, right? Because once upon a time, there was a tree, there was a snake. I know Mr. Peter likes snakes, but there was a snake. This is not a nice snake, though. Sorry. And there was a lady. The snake talked to the lady, and guess what he told her? Does anybody know what he said? Oh, eat from this tree here. If you eat from it, this is a tree of what? Knowledge of good and evil, right? Then you would be able to know everything. Now, there's this thing that I keep on hearing. This is my own truth. Anybody hear that? This is your truth. I only know one truth. That is Jesus, right? But if we don't start believing the truth, we are building our house on sand. And we are getting prey to these ideas. We are taking from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we're saying, yes, I can just come over here. This sounds good. I'll build my house over here. Maybe it is saying, you know what? Maybe the world is right and we can have this confusion of all these lies over here. That's okay, right? And we start thinking, I can be my own God. I can have my own truth. It is my truth. I can choose my identity. I don't have to worry about the identity that Jesus gave me. So if I'm going to identify as a 6-year-old girl, I'm going to be a 6-year-old girl. Do I look like a 6-year-old girl? I was 6 once, okay? Super cute 6-year-old. But I know, the reality of that is I am not a 6-year-old girl, am I? So that is not a truth that I can believe. So how do we build our house on the rock? It is hard. That man that had to build his house on the rock, he had to climb on the rocks. This is going against culture. It is hard when you are surrounded by people spreading lies and speaking lies and trying to get you to believe a lie, to try to say, no, that's not true, and go a separate way. Because I want to stand on the truth, which is Jesus. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except for me, right? And guess what, guys? When you believe that truth, it sets you free. Jesus said that, right? So that you don't have to worry. Once you start building your life on Jesus, you don't get deceived easily. This morning in my devotion time, I was talking about deception. I talked about Adam and Eve and everything like that. And it just made me realize, I was like, oh my goodness, once your eyes open, God renews your mind. You know, in Romans 12, it talks about renewing of your mind and not being conformed to the patterns of this world. So this world is full of lies, and it's so easy to believe those lies. But if you know the sweet voice of our Lord Jesus, if you are in his word daily, reading his scriptures, you get to know what his truth is. You cannot know his truth unless you're in his word, right? If I can get the worship team back up. And as they are coming up, I want you to start thinking about what are some lies that I may have believed. You know, whenever we talk about the difference between deception and lies, a lot of times we think about how the lies that the world constantly gives you, it really makes you feel good. And that's why it's so easy to believe in it. The moment that it starts like promoting yourself more than God, that is the key. Is like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be believing this, because that's what's going to lead me astray. But we don't want to be led astray, right? We want to be able to be with Jesus in the days, right? And we want to be able to submit our lives and call him our Lord, because he is our way, he is our truth, he is our life. We ask the question, have you ever believed a lie before? We all have been deceived before and believed a lie. But the only way you can find that truth is by finding Jesus and allowing him to be Lord of your life and speaking that truth to you. So we're going to sing this song, this last song, and then we're going to pray.
Through every battle, through every heartbreak, through every circumstance, I believe that you are my fortress, you are my portion, you are my hiding place. Oh, I believe you are the truth, the life. I believe through every blessing and every promise, through every breath I take. I believe that you are provider, you are protector, you are the one I love. Oh, I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way, the truth. And you meet me here today with my seas that I knew. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay low when I'm here with you. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you. And you meet me here today with my seas that I knew. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay low. And I believe you are
It's a new horizon, I'm set on you. And you meet me here today with mercies that I knew. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long when I'm here with you. It's a new horizon, I'm set on you. And you meet me here today with the mercies that I know. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long. And I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way and the truth, the life. I believe you are. Oh,
Father God, we just thank you that we don't have to build our house in the sand, even though that is so easy to do. But it's okay for us to